Okay, so welcome back to Lisa and Michael Save the World, 5 minutes or more interview with artist Jose Silva.
Hey,
Welcome, Jose.
Hi, thank you.
so great to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so you're going to be telling us a little bit about your influences tonight.
Yes. And so I would say probably one of the most influential artists for me was Dali, because I've always had this idea, like since I was younger, I always liked art that kind of like looked like one thing, but it could be another thing too. Like I always liked that kind of like illusion, like a trick. And I even remember like being really little and doing this drawing of like it was no masterpiece by any means, but I it was like I was using markers and I did this landscape of two mountains, and the side of them were kind of like a profile view of like two faces facing at each other, but it was a landscape, but it also looked like that. And so I remember like when I was exposed to Dali's art, I was like, oh my God, that's what I like doing. Things that look like one thing but could be something else. So I was like blown away, and obviously the way that he does it is so brilliant that I was just like, I just wanted to dive in all his work. Uh, and yeah, I have plenty of like, I try to as much as I can do art that's like that, but that obviously takes a certain level of like brain power and creativity that I don't always, I can always find. But yeah, that was one of the most influential things for me. That like being like, oh my God, there's an artist that's doing this thing and has been doing it, and it looks amazing. So
Jose, I love your work. And for me, I can see the Dali influence and I can see how you're such a incredible multimedia artist that I can see the influence of like everything around you is kind of like igniting you.
yes,
But
definitely.
for me, your skull work, like that, you're working on the series of these skulls with the solid black background, and it's just white and yellow, and you're taking it to a place I never want to leave. Like I want to just stay on this journey with you.
Thank you, and me too. And welcome to my journey, because that's kind of like where I'm landing. Like I had come from doing watercolors. I had a lot of like pinks and blues and purples
Yeah.
on white background and everything like that. And all of a sudden, I'm like, you know what? I'm just bored by that right now, and I kind of want that dark background and the sharper image with the white, the white watercolors and the metallics. And now, like, I'm so inspired by that. I went to the store today and I bought a bunch of more new metallic watercolors, more new metallic spray paints, more new like blacks and golds, and so that's kind of where I'm headed now.
Your artwork is like a 1-2 punch. You think you know where the first one's going, and then you come at the viewer from another direction. I remember vividly, you did a self-portrait in beautiful, like turquoise blue and pink. And I'm just like, ooh, this is poetic. And then all of a sudden it's like, boom, it's a skull. It's bright yellow. It's pitch black. So just when I think you're all rainbows and butterflies, you're giving me something dark and deep. And I love it.
No, thank you. And it's funny that you mentioned the poetry part of it too, because like I do love writing too, and sometimes for me like the visual art, it's I like it. I like to connect it with words too. So like sometimes I'll write a piece of poetry or something, and then it'll inspire the visual. Or sometimes the other way around, I'll do a visual and then it'll inspire me to write too. But no, thank you. I appreciate that.
You're a storyteller.
Absolutely. I try to be. I feel like I could do just portraits or just, but even if I just do a portrait, like I feel like I have to put some emotion in there, and somehow it has to be relatable to me and to what I'm doing. And I don't know, I feel like when you know a little bit more about the art, the story behind it, it just generally makes you fall in love with it more. I mean, there is something nice when like somebody makes up their own story, and they tell you like, oh, this is what I saw, and you're like, wow, that has nothing to do with what I did, but awesome. That's I might use that in the future. Um, but yeah, I do try to always put a lot of thought. Like I'm kind of like an overthinker, and I try to I do put a lot of thought behind my art, but then when I actually start painting, that's when all the thoughts go away. But I do always have an intention. usually behind what I do.
I think I have a new influence, and it's Jose Silva.
And also Jose has done these, what caught my attention from Jose first was your incredible masks that were made, and you don't even realize it at first that they're made up of, one is made up of compasses, one the other one is like computer
parts, yeah.
Yeah, they're really incredible looking, really incredible.
And it's always, thank you, and it's always like materials that I get a hold of, like repurposed materials, things that are gonna be trash. And then I'm like, how could you trash this? And it's like, a lot of them I got from my friend, and he's like, these are computer parts, they're broken, they're bad, they're trash. And I'm like, but they're so beautiful. I could make something with these. So I've been collecting a lot of trash and making it into art.
Great.
Everybody listening has got to follow Jose as well. They have to. Yeah. They don't have a choice. If you're listening, you must follow. I will. Jose's info.
I'll be putting Jose's Instagram account, and Jose, if you have a website.
Jose Silva Art is my website. Yes.
Okay. All right. So
JoseSilvaArt.com, and then Jose Silva Art is my Instagram. And that's where I post the majority of my things. And usually, if I do a writing, like a little poem or anything, that's usually where I post it. I'll post it on Instagram, the picture with the little writing at the bottom.
Okay, I'll be sure to put all that information below. Awesome. Scrolling by.
Thank you.
Thank you. This has been great.
Thank you so much.
It's so great to meet you.
Thank you for stopping by, and follow us on. I keep forgetting to tell everyone to follow us on Instagram, on our YouTube channel, Facebook, and we're on the TikTok. Had to put that in. So be sure to follow us for more great interviews with more great artists coming up soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.